Hi everyone, I'm Tina McIntyre, Florida Friendly Landscaping Agent with the University of Florida IFAS Extension in Seminole County. And I wanted to wish you a happy Arbor Day. So, Arbor Day, obviously, we're usually together planting and celebrating trees. But I thought in this day of social distancing, I would just teach you a few things about trees and cover why they're so great. So, I'm going to look at some of the benefits of trees, the basic botany of tree basics, and the trees to consider for Central Florida, along with best management practices. So just to quickly cover some of the benefits of trees. They provide social benefits, so a feeling of a sense of place and tranquility. They also provide communal benefits, so you can benefit from a tree that's not even on your property. They can provide coverage from utilities that can be a little bit disruptive visually to the landscape. Economic benefits, so they raise property values by about 5 to 20% if you have trees and landscaping on your property. And then of course what we think most of, which is the environmental benefits. So they reduce stormwater runoff, they moderate the extreme temperatures that we have in our summers, providing food and cover for wildlife, and help purify the air and reduce erosion. So lots of benefits environmentally for trees, obviously. So just to cover some tree basics. So most trees are perennial, which means that they live several years. They use the light of the sun to create sugars for energy through photosynthesis. Some trees are deciduous, meaning that they drop their leaves. So like this oak tree right behind me is deciduous. It's dropping some of those leaves. And then other trees are evergreen, so like pine trees. So they have their leaves year round. A basic botany of trees is, of course, you have the roots. Not a lot of people, you'd be surprised, they forget that the root system of trees are vast, usually equaling the coverage that we see on the canopy of the tree. So you have to keep that in mind when planting a tree, that its root system is going to get extensive. That's where the absorption of water and nutrients take place. And then we have the trunk of the tree right behind me. That's where it actually raises those leaves above the soil to be able to reach for the sunlight. And then we have the exchange of nutrients running through the xylem and phloem of the tree. And then of course the canopy of the tree and the crown of the tree, where we have the buds, leaves, seeds, and flowering, and the reproduction of the tree. And plant reproduction is extremely vast and various. So we have lots of different, ways in which plants reproduce. Quite fascinating. That could be a whole talk. So just to cover quickly some trees, native Florida-friendly trees for Central Florida. We have the longleaf pine or other pine species. They're fantastic because they create a self-mulching area around that you can easily plant shrubs with. The live oak. So I'm actually standing right in front of a laurel oak, and laurel oaks are much more short-lived. They were very commonly planted around Central Florida, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, and so a lot of our laurel oaks are starting to die. And what we recommend is actually the tree across the street is a live oak, and live oaks are fantastic because they're hardy trees and they're very long-lived. Another forgotten tree is the tree of our sandhills, the turkey oak tree. And you're not commonly seen in the landscape, but I personally really like it, and I'd encourage you to explore it as an option for your yard. Now to cover just a few trees that do well in wet environments. So we have the bald and pond cypress. These trees are going to be our largest, these trees will be getting the largest of all Florida trees. So if you think of, the Lady Liberty we have in Seminole County, and formerly the Senator, or other very large cypress trees. So they do get quite vast. And then bay trees. I think a lot of people do forget bays. We have quite a variety of bay species in Central Florida. Loblolly bay, swamp bay, sweet bay, lots of different bays to consider for wet areas. And then just to name a few edibles, we have the avocado tree, the loquat tree, and even some more tropical-like trees such as mango or starfruit, which might need a little cold protection during the winter, but we have had some rather warm winters, and I've seen them do very good recently. So if you're having issues with your tree, you can always reach out to the University of Florida IFAS Extension and your local extension office. And right now in Seminole County, we are doing virtual consultations every Thursday at 1 o'clock. We have our Master Gardener Help Desk. If it's more intricate than that, what we recommend is an ISA certified arborist. And you can find one at treesaregood.org. And they're going to be really helpful to identifying the root of the issue, no pun intended, with your tree. And so again, that's treesaregood.org with an ISA certified arborist. If you're looking to learn more about how to make your landscape more interesting and valuable and appealing to wildlife, join me next Friday at 3 p.m. I'm going to be offering a webinar on creating habitat. You'll be seeing that posted soon, where you can register and get your seat secured in advance. And remember, when considering solutions for your life, if it comes to plants or finances or whatever it may be, nutrition, the University of Florida IFAS Extension has science-based information for you. Happy Arbor Day, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend.